Ladies and gentlemen, why do you keep waking up at 3 a.m.? Have you ever asked yourself that? It's not just a restless night, not just another hour on the clock. No, this is something bigger, something deeper. If you're a woman who keeps waking up in the stillness of the night, I need you to hear me right now, because you are not like everybody else. You are favored, you are chosen, and the reason you keep waking up at this hour, it's a divine sign, a call to rise above, to step into something greater. But most people ignore it. They roll over, dismiss it, go back to sleep. But you feel it. You know there's something more. And if you stay with me, if you listen to what I'm about to tell you, you'll finally understand why this keeps happening to you and what you need to do next. Why do you keep waking up at 3 a.m.? Have you ever truly stopped to think about it? Most people would dismiss it. They'd roll over, check the clock, sigh in frustration, and force themselves back to sleep. But not you. Because something about this moment feels different, doesn't it? Something about waking up at this exact hour, night after night, feels intentional. Like there's a message waiting for you in the silence, and you'd be right to feel that way. This is not just another sleepless night. This is not your mind playing tricks on you. No, this is a call that is being placed specifically on your life, a call that is meant for you to answer. A favored woman, one who is chosen, doesn't live like everyone else. She doesn't experience the world in the same way. While others sleep, while others go about their daily routines without a second thought, she is being awakened. She is being set apart. That 3 a.m. moment, it's a signal, a divine tap on the shoulder. It's the universe, your higher power, whatever name you want to give it, trying to get your attention. And the reason you wake up at this time is because this is when you are most open. This is when the noise of the world has settled, when distractions have faded, when the voices of doubt, of fear, of uncertainty are at their weakest. This is when the real you can finally be heard. Now, ask yourself, how often have you ignored this moment? How many times have you felt something stirring in your soul at this hour, only to brush it off as nothing? How often have you woken up, heart pounding, thoughts racing, and told yourself, it's just another restless night? But deep down, you know better. You know that 3 a.m. doesn't come for everyone. You know that this is not just coincidence, because something is being revealed to you in those early morning hours, something that you may not fully understand yet, but that you can feel. Maybe it comes in the form of an idea, a vision, a sudden clarity about something that's been weighing on you. Maybe it's a name that pops into your mind, a person you need to forgive, a decision you need to make. Maybe it's a feeling of unease, a reminder that you're meant to be somewhere else, doing something more, living a life bigger than the one you've settled for. Whatever it is not random, it is not meaningless. A favored woman is not just given opportunities, she is given responsibilities. And one of the greatest responsibilities you will ever have is to listen, to truly listen when you are being called. You are being prepared for something greater. And preparation does not happen in comfort. It does not happen when you are surrounded by noise, by distractions, by people who do not understand your vision. Preparation happens in stillness. It happens in the quiet. It happens when you are alone with nothing but your thoughts, your purpose, and your creator. And that is exactly why you keep waking up at 3 a.m. The world is at its most silent, but your soul is at its loudest. This is the moment when your spirit is trying to communicate with you, when your purpose is trying to make itself known. This is the moment when answers come, when direction is given, when clarity arrives, but only if you are willing to receive it. So the next time you wake up at 3 a.m., don't fight it, don't ignore it, don't reach for your phone. Don't scroll through social media. Don't distract yourself from what is happening. Instead, sit up, listen, write down what's on your heart, because favored women don't sleep through their calling. They rise to meet it. Have you ever felt like you don't belong? Like no matter where you go, who you surround yourself with, or how much you try to fit in, something inside you just feels different? It's not something you can explain easily. It's just this deep, unshakable feeling that you are not like everybody else. And for most of your life, you've probably tried to ignore it. You've tried to convince yourself that maybe it's all in your head, that maybe if you just adjust a little bit more, shrink yourself a little bit more, go along with what everyone else is doing, then that feeling will finally go away. But it never does. Because you were never meant to fit in. You were meant to stand out. You were meant to be set apart. A chosen woman, one who is truly favored, will never feel completely at home in spaces that were not built for her. And the reason you keep waking up at 3 a.m., the reason you feel restless in places that others seem comfortable in, is because you are being called to something greater. You are being reminded that you are different. But here's the thing about being different. It's not easy. It's not easy to walk a path that others don't understand. It's not easy to carry a purpose that others can't see. It's not easy to be the one who feels deeply, who thinks differently, who sees things from a perspective that most people can't even comprehend. You've probably felt alone. You've probably found yourself in rooms full of people and still felt isolated. You've probably had moments where you wondered, why can't I just be like everyone else? Why do I always feel like I don't belong? But that loneliness, that feeling of being different, it's not a punishment. It's a sign that you are being positioned for something greater. A sign that you were never meant to follow the crowd because you were meant to lead. A sign that the very things that make you feel out of place are the same things that will one day make you stand tall in your purpose. When a woman is chosen, she is not given the luxury of blending in. She is not given the comfort of walking a road that's already been paved for her. Instead, she is called to be a trailblazer. She is called to create her own path. And that's why you feel different. That's why you wake up in the middle of the night with thoughts racing through your mind, with dreams and ideas that seem too big to make sense. That's why you find it hard to settle for the life that others are content with, because deep down, you know you were made for more. The world will try to convince you that being different is a weakness, that you should do everything in your power to fit in, to be accepted, to not stand out too much. But the truth is, being different is your greatest strength. It's proof that you are walking a path that few are chosen for. Have you ever noticed how the people who go on to change the world, who go on to do extraordinary things, all have something in common? They never fit in. They were always the ones who thought differently, who moved differently, who refused to settle for what everyone else accepted. And that's exactly who you are. If you've been feeling out of place, if you've been questioning why you don't seem to belong anywhere, understand this. You weren't meant to. You were meant to rise above. You were meant to carve out a space that is uniquely yours. And that journey begins the moment you stop fighting who you are, the moment you stop trying to fit into a mold that was never designed for you, the moment you embrace the fact that being different is not a burden, it's a calling. Because the day will come when everything will make sense. The day will come when you will look back and realize that every moment of feeling different, every moment of loneliness, every moment of not belonging was shaping you into the woman you were always meant to be. So don't run from it. Don't fight it. Own it. Because the world doesn't need more people who fit in. It needs more women who are bold enough to stand out. Have you ever noticed how at 3 a.m. everything feels different? The world is quiet. The distractions are gone. The noise of the day, the responsibilities, the demands, all of it fades into silence. And in that silence, something stirs inside you. Thoughts you've been avoiding start to rise. Questions you've pushed aside suddenly demand answers. And maybe, just maybe, there's a feeling, a presence, something you can't quite explain, but you know it's real. This isn't just another restless night. This isn't insomnia. This isn't your body betraying you with random wake-ups. No, this is a moment of clarity. This is a moment where something bigger than you is trying to get your attention. Because in the stillness of 3 a.m., you are the most connected. This is the hour when distractions are at their weakest and your spirit is at its strongest. This is when your soul speaks the loudest, if you're willing to listen. During the day, you're bombarded with voices, social media, television, text messages, work, conversations. They all fill your mind with endless noise. You're constantly reacting, responding, adjusting to the world around you. And in all that chaos, it's easy to miss the quiet whisper of truth. But at 3 a.m., when the world is still, when the energy around you is calm, that whisper turns into a voice that is meant for you, a voice that is trying to remind you of who you are, of where you're going, of what you've been chosen to do. And if you pay attention, you'll realize something incredible. The answers you've been searching for aren't out there, they're inside you. So many people walk through life lost, confused, desperate for direction. They look for signs in other people. They seek validation from the world. They chase approval, thinking that if they can just get someone to tell them what to do, then they'll finally have peace. But the truth is, the answers have been with you all along. They've just been buried under the weight of everyday life. And that's why you wake up at 3 a.m. Because something deep inside you is trying to break through. It's trying to remind you of your purpose. It's trying to show you the way forward. It's trying to bring clarity to the questions that have been lingering in your heart. But you have to be willing to listen. How many times have you woken up at 3 a.m. with an idea, a thought, a moment of inspiration, only to roll over, dismiss it, and go back to sleep? How many times have you felt that tug in your soul, only to tell yourself, I'll think about it later? The moment keeps coming back, because when you are chosen, you don't get to ignore your calling. You don't get to sleep through your purpose. You don't get to pretend that you don't feel what you feel. You are being woken up for a reason. Maybe it's to finally start that project that's been on your heart for years. Maybe it's to let go of something or someone that has been holding you back. Maybe it's to step into a new chapter, to stop playing small, to stop waiting for permission to live the life you were meant to live. Whatever it is, it's calling you. And at 3 a.m., when your mind is still, when the world is silent, when your soul is open, that's when you hear it the clearest. So the next time you wake up at this hour, don't brush it off. Don't force yourself back to sleep. Don't silence the voice that is trying to guide you. Sit up, take a breath, pay attention to what's stirring in your heart. Because clarity doesn't come in the middle of the noise. It comes in the silence. And if you listen closely enough, you'll realize that everything you need to know, everything you've been searching for, has been waiting for you all along. Have you ever noticed that when you wake up at 3 a.m., your mind isn't occupied with the usual thoughts of the day? You're not thinking about what's trending on social media. You're not distracted by the noise of the world. Instead, your thoughts go deeper. You start questioning your life, your choices, your direction. You start thinking about the things that truly matter. That's not a coincidence. That's not random. That's an invitation. When you wake up at this hour, you are stepping into a space where your distractions are removed and your awareness is heightened. This is when clarity speaks. This is when the truth that's been buried under the weight of daily life starts to surface. And one of the most powerful truths you'll come to realize in these moments is this: not everyone is meant to go where. It's a hard truth, but it's necessary, because for so long you've been carrying people who were never meant to walk this path with you. You've been holding on to relationships, friendships, and connections that are no longer serving you. And deep down, you know it. You've known it for a long time, but letting go isn't. When you are chosen, when you are set apart, when you are called to something greater, you can't take everyone with you, not because you don't love them, not because you don't care, but because some people were only meant to be in your life for a season. And when that season is over, trying to hold on to them will only slow you down. How many times have you felt drained after being around certain people? How many times have you tried to share your dreams, your ambitions, your vision, only to be met with doubt, negativity, or indifference? How many times have you lowered yourself, dimmed your light, or stayed in places where you didn't feel valued just to maintain connections that no longer serve you? That's why you keep waking up, because you're being called to release. You're being called to recognize who and what is holding you back. You're being called to step fully into your power, into your purpose, into the next level of your life. When you finally accept that not everyone can go with you, you'll realize that letting go isn't a loss. It's a blessing. Because when you create space, when you remove what no longer aligns with you, you make room for something greater. You make room for the right people, those who inspire you, support you, and push you to become the best version of yourself. You make room for new opportunities, for growth, for experiences that match the level of the woman you are becoming. But you can't receive what's meant for you if your hands are full of what's not. Who in your life is adding to you and who is taking away? Who is pushing you forward and who is holding you back? Who is truly meant to be a part of your journey? And who are you holding on to out of fear, obligation, or habit? At 3 a.m., when the distractions are gone and your soul is speaking, listen to what it's telling you. Pay attention to the names, the feelings, the situations that rise to the surface, because those aren't just random thoughts. That's guidance. That's clarity. That's your spirit telling you exactly what you need to release. And I know it's not easy. Walking away is never easy. Letting go of people you care about is never easy. But growth isn't about comfort. It's about courage. It's about trusting that when you let go of what no longer serves you, you are making space for what's truly meant for you. So the next time you wake up at 3 a.m., don't ignore it. Don't dismiss it. Take it as a sign that you are being called higher. Take it as a reminder that your journey is changing, that your path is elevating, and that not everyone is meant to come with you. Because when you finally release what's been weighing you down, you'll realize that you were never meant to carry it in the first place. You were meant to rise. Waking up at 3 a.m. isn't just about restlessness. It's not about stress or an overactive mind. It's something deeper than that, something spiritual, something unexplainable. You've felt it. That moment when your eyes open in the dead of night and you just know something is different. Something is calling you, something is shifting inside of you. And the truth is, you are being prepared for something greater. But here's the challenge. Preparation isn't always comfortable. Growth doesn't come wrapped in ease. Being chosen for something bigger means you have to go through things that most people will never understand. You have to endure tests, trials, and moments of isolation that will make you question everything. And that's why you're waking up, because right now you're in a season of transformation. You're being stretched, molded, refined. You're being prepared for a version of yourself that you haven't even fully stepped into yet. And to become that woman, you have to go through the process. Every great story of success, of strength, of wisdom has a chapter of struggle. Every powerful woman you admire has faced moments where she wanted to quit, where she questioned her path, where she had to push through despite the obstacles in front of her. But what separates the ones who rise from the ones who remain stuck is their willingness to embrace the preparation. And preparation requires isolation. That's why you've been feeling different. That's why certain people have been falling away. That's why the things you used to tolerate no longer sit right with you, because you're shifting. Your spirit is evolving. Your standards are rising. And not everyone and everything can come with you into this next level of your life. This process isn't meant to break you. It's meant to build you. But I won't lie to you, it's not easy. There will be nights where you feel completely alone. There will be moments where you wonder if you're even on the right path. There will be times when you want to go back to what's familiar, to what's comfortable, to what's easy. But here's what you need to remember. The greatest things in life are never found in comfort. They're found in courage. They're found in the moments when you keep going even when you don't have all the answers. They're found in the seasons where you trust the process even when it doesn't make sense. You are being shaped into someone stronger, someone wiser, someone unstoppable. But that transformation comes at a cost. You have to be willing to let go of old habits that no longer serve you. You have to be willing to separate yourself from the environments that are keeping you small. You have to be willing to embrace the uncomfortable, knowing that it's leading you to something greater. And every time you wake up at 3 a.m., it's a reminder that you are chosen. A reminder that you are being prepared, a reminder that something bigger is on the horizon, and all you have to do is keep walking forward. So don't resist the process. Don't run from the discomfort. Instead, lean into it. Trust that everything you're going through is shaping you into the woman you are meant to become. Because when the time is right, when the preparation is complete, when you have become everything you were meant to be, you will understand why you had to go through this. You will see the purpose in every sleepless night, in every hard decision, in every moment of struggle, and you will rise, stronger, wiser, and ready for everything that was meant for you. Waking up at 3 a.m. isn't just a coincidence. It's not some random occurrence. It's a moment of awakening, a calling, a sign that something is shifting in your life. But here's what most people don't realize. When you are chosen for something greater, you will feel the weight of that calling long before you see the results. You will feel the loneliness, the uncertainty, the isolation. And one of the biggest struggles you will face is that you won't have all the answers. How many times have you questioned why certain things are happening in your life? Why doors that seemed perfect suddenly close? Why people you trusted betrayed you? Why you feel disconnected from the life you used to love? It's because you're in a transition, and transitions are never comfortable. When you are chosen for something greater, you don't get the luxury of moving through life like everyone else. You don't get to stay in situations that don't serve you. You don't get to ignore your inner voice when it's telling you that something isn't right, because the path for you is different. And that's why you keep waking up at 3 a.m. When the world is silent, your soul speaks the loudest. This is when your spirit tries to remind you of who you really are. This is when the distractions are gone and you're left with nothing but the truth. And the truth is this: you have been feeling lost because you are being led somewhere new. But here's what you need to understand. Not knowing the full plan doesn't mean you're on the wrong path. You don't need to have every step figured out to move forward. You don't need to have all the answers to trust the process. What you need is faith. What you need is patience. What you need is the strength to keep going, even when you don't know where the road leads. And I get it, waiting is hard, sitting in uncertainty is uncomfortable. We all want clarity, we all want to know when things will finally fall into place. But the process of becoming who you are meant to be isn't about knowing everything in advance, it's about trusting that you are being guided even when you can't see the destination. And that's what makes you different. That's what makes you chosen. Because despite the fear, despite the confusion, despite the doubt, you keep going, you keep searching, you keep growing, and that is what separates those who stay stuck from those who rise. So stop waiting for perfect clarity before you take action. Stop waiting for all the pieces to come together before you start moving. Your job isn't to have all the answers. Your job is to trust that the answers will come at the right time. The next time you wake up at 3 a.m., don't ignore it. Don't dismiss it. That moment is an invitation. It's a chance to listen, to reflect, to surrender to the journey, even if you don't fully understand it yet. Because one day you will. One day everything will make sense. One day you will look back on this season of uncertainty and realize that every moment of confusion was leading you exactly where you were meant to be. And when that day comes, you will be grateful that you kept going. From this moment on, don't ignore that wake-up call. When 3 a.m. comes knocking, sit up, listen, write down what's on your heart, because you are being prepared for something bigger. And when the time comes, when everything finally aligns, you will understand exactly why you were chosen. Stay ready.